Nestling beneath the North York moors is the village of Thornton-le-Dale. And for over 30 years, it's been the home of the Mathewsons. A dynasty of dealers with a love of classics.
They just have a personality, there's just something about them.
In all shapes and sizes.
Well, it is the best job ever, really, isn't it?
A passion that can be turned into brass. They auction over 4,000 rare vehicles every year.
Start me on it, we're going to be with it.
Most people will go to a sale with something in mind, but come away with something different.
Some things either got it or it hasn't.
It's what they fall in love with on that day.
There's head of the family, Derek.
What a runner. Smooth as silk, this car.
Trusted lieutenants, sons Paul.
Working with your family, it has its ups and its downs. God, blimey.
And Dave.
I bet you £1 it doesn't start.
The fun is the chase.
Morning, Mathewsons.
You just don't know what's on the end of the phone, what you're going to find when you open them doors.
Spot on.
That's the find of the century. It's the real deal.
Just never really 2 days exactly the same.
This is a family's love affair with motors that have lived a life.
There's a story behind every car in this building.
Testing.
Most people will buy a car because they can relate to it. Maybe a car that Dad had. We're selling dreams.
Right, here we go.
On sale this week.
2 Bentley S3s from the 1960s.
They're a pleasure to drive. There's no sound from the engine, it's almost like an electric car.
Absolutely wonderful. I mean, crumbs, what more can you want?
The 1928 AJS Special.
This would have been extremely quick, this bike, really quick. This would have frightened you, how quick this bike goes.
Lot number 5, 1936 BSA, lovely machine.
You need to be in the zone to be able to drive it briskly.
Very, very attractive little car.
When you drive down the road,
People will smile.
Tucked away in the Yorkshire countryside, Thornton-le-Dale is one of the places to visit if you're in the mood for a classic car.
Personally, I love classic cars because I can understand how they work, I can take them apart, I can have as much fun with them as I want, and they're also stunning. Every classic car is unique, they look totally different.
With an almost endless stream of desirable vehicles on offer, hundreds of punters every year get the chance to own their bucket list vehicles. And that includes the Mathewsons themselves, always on the lookout to top up their own very different collections.
I tend to have a few sort of competition-y type cars. Been on the Malaysian Grand Prix circuit all its life, that one.
I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Land Rovers.
Whenever I buy one, the gearbox falls out the following week.
Between them, though, there are some crossovers of interest. For example, Derek and Paul love the Bentleys.
Everybody should drive one of these before they die. They really, really should.
Derek has a beautiful Mark 6 from the 1940s, and Paul recently nabbed this Continental GT for 16 grand.
We use it probably 2-3 days a week on average, I suppose, and it's just a nice environment to be in. It's just a lovely car.
Today, Derek has volunteered himself for a plum collection in Suffolk, a brace of Bentleys that would be on anyone's wish list. For 82-year-old Ray Curson and his wife Jane, their cars have always been like two other people in the marriage. On the left, Cynthia, a 2.5-ton S3 from 1963. And on the right, Harry, a more lightweight 1965 Continental.
I bought Cynthia from a very nice old gentleman in Leicestershire in 1974. Harry was bought in 1984. He'd done 32,000 miles when I bought him. He's done under 100,000 now.
Both cars come loaded with happy memories.
Married to Jane in one of them and my daughter married and the others. So a joy to have. They're a pleasure to drive. They make heads turn. There's no sound from the engine. It's almost like an electric car. I've been privileged to have them, really.
In the 60s, a new S3 would have been around £6,000. The Continental, well over 8, twice the cost of an average UK house.
It did cause quite a stir when it was first shown. It was a big break with tradition, I think. People used to, from the rear, think it was an Aston Martin.
Both cars have 6-litre engines and unrivaled levels of interior luxury.
You only got to look at the quality of the build. Every moment I drove them I thought was special. They're a thing of beauty.
But it's Harry who has the most class-defining accessory.
It was one of the few cars that had altimeters in, and because the sort of person who'd be driving somebody like Harry would be, getting on in years, and so if they were in Switzerland, for instance, it would warn them if they were going too high up into the Alps, where it would complicate their breathing.
Bentley and Rolls-Royce, names synonymous with luxury. But where do you go if the standard models seem a bit low rent? The answer? Coach builder Mulliner Park Ward. Founded as H.J. Mulliner in 1897, the original ride pimpers produced works of art like the Silver Shadow Corniche, the Phantom 6, and of course, the elegant Continental with its distinctive tilted headlamps. Body shells were redesigned, leather and veneer upgraded, carpets refitted in lamb's wool. It took 3 weeks to paint a car and 3 days to check it for imperfections. Production runs were always low, the skilled craftsmen didn't come cheap, and hardly anybody could afford the end result. The Willesden factory closed in '91, but the name lives on as Bentley's bespoke division. Derek's arrived, fresh from his 5-hour journey down the M1. Ray and Jane are hoping to get just short of 100 grand in total for the Bentleys, so he's going to stay focused for this one.
Yeah, this is a stylish old thing, isn't it? It's a lovely old car, super thing this. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I'm not all that enamoured with the colour and the colour of the trim particularly. I think it's probably been painted to maybe Ray's colour scheme, the colour that he wanted. A lot of sinkage on it. The lacquer's bridged quite a lot on it. But the dash top's good. The wood's nice. A little bit of cracking on the veneer, but very, very little. Lovely car.
The non-Mulliner S3 might be considered a bargain, but with an expectation of a 30 grand sale, it's got to be in fairly good nick.
Let's have a look inside. Yeah, she's a nice old thing, isn't she? She wants colonising, a bit of colouring up and odds and sods, but that's fine because it's probably never been done. I would think it's most definitely never been touched. And a really, really honest old car. Absolutely lovely. Nice interior, nice door shuts and such, nice colour. So well, that car. Ray's had the best out of these, of course, over these years that he's had them. Absolutely wonderful. He's had a lovely motoring career with these two cars. I mean, crumbs, what more can you want? That's handy, Ray, isn't it?
This is my green my green vehicle.
No, brilliant idea.
And of course, Rory the dog thinks he owns it now.
Of course. Good. Well, we just had a look round, and did you have them painted, Ray?
Yeah, both of them were taken down to bare metal, and on Cynthia, all the wings have been cut off.
Was the Mulliner in it? Was that one always that colour, or was that your choice of colour?
The history said it was like the light blue when it was first delivery. Well, it's been a gradual process of having to realise that I'm not able to drive them as much as I could. Got to be realistic, and I've had my wonderful times with them.
Bit sad, but it'd be nice that they're going to go to a new home and someone else use them more than we can use them now, so it needs to be done, really.
It's hard, really, when you've had stuff like this age. This is why, you know, a lot of the time we like to do our own collections, because we like to meet people. You can't beat doing it yourself, because I know where they come from, what the people are like, why they're going, how long they've had them, all this, that and the other. It's very important. You build up a picture of it and you can relay that to a prospective purchaser. And being a collector myself, I'll get quite a kick out of it, you know. Let's face it, best job in the world I've got, haven't I? I mean, look at the day, beautiful place. I mean, crumbs, can't be bad. How fortunate am I?
The showroom is currently rammed with classics.
How's the paperwork going, Sarah?
To say the next auction will be well stocked would be an understatement.
About 390 something. I reckon this one will be over 400.
With so much going on, it's essential that everything is tickety-boo with the admin.
So we've got descriptions of stuff that's in here. We've got bidding forms.
We seem to have misplaced some paperwork. It's not like us.
Usually we've got a love letter for Sarah.
A lot of people in this establishment can't count, so you find that the numbers are sometimes in the wrong places.
And now a large, cumbersome vehicle has arrived outside the Pickering HQ, courtesy of transporter driver Nick Dodds.
You specialise in big, unusual, clumsy vehicles?
I try not to. But sometimes you just can't get out of these things, can you?
What have you brought?
A living caravan. That might not be the correct term for it, but all I know is it's 42 foot and very old. And very nice. It's not the easiest thing to sort of negotiate, but yeah, for someone, it'll be a right tool, won't it?
The tool in question is a 1959 Simpson Showman's living van, once the home of a travelling Fairground family.
We're thinking of turning this into your new office.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Sure.
Does it have a proper toilet though? I'm not a bucket kind of girl.
I'm assuming it's father, because I don't think anyone else would have said, yeah, bring it down. It's a lovely thing, isn't it, if that's what you're into.
Are you into that?
No, not at all, no.
Either way, it's going to take some shifting.
Towing weight of a Land Rover?
3.5 tons.
Do you know how heavy that is?
No.
Nick, do you know how heavy it is?
I think it's about 6 or 7 ton, so it's pretty light.
I don't feel that heavy, you know. Are we looking all right, John?
Don't ask me.
Are we off yet? I can't actually see anything. Now we are. Success!
Stage 1 complete. But unfortunately, it seems Derek's also requested that it doesn't stay outdoors.
Believe it or not, I've got to make a bit of room in the shed there and get it inside, apparently.
Yeah. Which way do you have to turn then to turn it?
Left to go left. Overshot. Left to go left they are. Can't see anything.
All right.
All right, Jack.
As you are.
No.
As you are.
Oh yeah, I can now.
Yeah, go on then, as you are.
Look, we're going over centre, you see.
When you say as you are, Jack, is that good? Or?
Yeah. It's when I don't know what to say, so I just say as you are.
Back now at that. I reckon we can push it. Go on, Jack, I'll get around. We're getting soaking wet with this gutter.
How's your hernia?
Oh, it's all right. Doing it the world of good, this. How are we doing? Are we there? We're there.
The giant caravan has lost the battle. But now, an update from Derek.
Dexy's just phoned and said, don't put that living caravan inside.
So they've put it in and Derek doesn't want it
It's
there.
now inside, drying off nicely, and Derek's just phoned and said don't put it inside.
And there isn't a key for it either.
But he's coming to sort it out.
Will anybody be here when he arrives?
I'm going to leave before he arrives. There may be a bit of friction between him and Paul. Yeah, see you in the morning. Yeah, see you in the morning. Bye!
There's no choice. It's time to initiate Operation Birthday Boy. Nobody knows how old Derek is, but a cake and card should distract him.
Yummy. Coffee.
Oh, oh, birthday. Whose birthday?
It's yours.
Look at that.
Just smell it. Just smell it. It smells.
Lovely, isn't it? I like, is it coffee?
It certainly is.
Lovely,
My
isn't it?
favourite.
Yeah, very good one. Excellent. Lovely.
Apparently it was a bit of a handful.
Oh, it mustn't push in, isn't it? There's a fair bit of weight there, isn't it?
Which is why you can imagine when you said you wanted it outside and they got it in, that didn't go down too well.
You ain't got to take it serious, have you? That's the thing. You mustn't take these things serious.
Job done. Before COVID, auction days would have seen the crowds descend on Thornton le Dale.
Car speaks for itself. Stunning car. Start beware. We're a live auction. We're old-fashioned. When we announce our first auction, I don't know where or how we're going to hold it. I sort of almost know personally how that's 5,000 people want to come.
But with no mass gatherings, the socially distanced magic happens in the showroom at Pickering.
13, you're out now, Dave. You're out on the net. 13, I've got.
Today was earmarked for the sale of the two impressive S03 Bentleys, but they're just going to hold off for a while. When the cars were collected, owners Ray and Jane had a preference about how they should be sold.
Do they need to stay together?
Oh, well, that would be the perfect solution. And they would be very happy to be alongside each other for the next 50 years.
What these two need is a private buyer. But the likelihood of someone buying both at the auction is slim, especially with a likely price tag of around 100 grand.
6.5, thanks for your bidding.
But, curiously, today will see the sale of another Bentley. After living with his Continental GT for a few months, Paul's had second thoughts.
Yeah, I like me Bentley. It's kind of turned into a bit of a work runaround, which is a bit bizarre, isn't it, really? By that I mean we never use it as a family because there isn't a lot of room in there. You find yourself with the front seats up to the dashboard and it's just not very comfortable. That's it, she's off.
And within no time, there's a private viewing. Graham Hindle from Bolton smells a bargain.
At the end of the day, I'm just a painter and decorator, aren't I? I don't know much about cars, but I know that I do like this. You know, you got to treat yourself sometimes and you keep thinking, oh, I'd love one of them. And then you see something like this and you think, it's actually affordable. Where I put my ladder, I do not know.
Paul paid 16 grand for the car. He's hoping to get his money back.
Are we all ready to go? 142 is the Bentley Continental GT. There she is there. Beautiful bit of kit, stunning value for money. Start me on it. Where do you want to be? 12, 5, 13, 5, 14, 14,000, 14. 14,000 and away, 5, 14, 5, 14, 5. 14,500, 15, 15, 5. Unbelievable value for money. 16, 16, 5 upstairs. 17 downstairs now. 17, 5. I know it wants some believing, look at it, but that's it. 17, 5. She's away. Good luck to you. 17, 5. It's 17, 5. A cracking deal.
Decorator Graham didn't win the Bentley, and its sale to a couple in Driffield marks the end of Paul's days of glamour. He did make 1,500 quid profit though.
Back into my old Rover really, which has done about 15 mile this year, because the Bentley was there. So yeah, time to let somebody else have a bit of fun with it. So I'm quite pleased with that. That's done all right.
Back at the garage.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you properly.
A bit of lockdown hasn't done anything to reduce the number of vehicles going through the books.
Go on, Luke.
Up to lot 433.
Okay, so
But restrictions have kiboshed a particularly popular part of auction day, memorabilia.
So yeah, we've got a massive backlog. You need the people here they like to have a rummage through the boxes, see if there's something interesting, and it's quite difficult to do over the internet, really.
But after a period of isolation, it's back, but not in abundance.
Some memorabilia is going in.
Yeah, probably 20 items maybe of memorabilia. There's probably about 800 to 1,000 items here.
Reintroducing memorabilia back into the wild first means careful selection.
So they've got a nice chopper here. Not my favourite of the choppers because it's a Mark III, and I'd rather have a Mark I or a Mark II because I like a knob to fiddle with. This ain't got a knob to fiddle with.
So the difference between a Mark I and a Mark III, because it's a schoolboy error, isn't it?
Schoolboy error, no knob.
1.5 million choppers were sold in the 70s, but at 35 quid, they weren't cheap.
Did you have one?
No, I had a shopper, didn't I?
Rally shop.
Dyslexic mother.
And just for comparison,
This is Mark II, so it's got the longer knob on it as opposed to a round knob.
And which generates more interest then too?
Oh, the Mark II, yeah. Recently they've been making really, really good money, so anything I would have said for like 1,000 quid, 1,200, depending on what sort of condition they're in.
Because they were just used and abused, weren't they?
Of course they were, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Was your rally shopper used and abused?
Yeah, I tried to lose it a few times, but somebody always found it.
next on the list, an item gathering a few cobwebs in the corner.
So the lovely organ, I think it needs a little bit of work doing on it before you want to, you know, start busking with it or anything like that. And it is lovely, isn't it? Don't you think?
This Pasquale two-wheeled Victorian barrel organ was first rolled out in Bury St Edmunds. Today, it would struggle to strike a chord with anyone.
Choose a number. Right, so this should be Old Lang Syne. It's not.
Also destined for the first memorabilia sale in months.
So that's lot 107.
So pumps are popular.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, ever so popular for the man caves, yeah. So that's lot 329, the Bowser pump. Looking resplendent. Then we've got a couple of original glass petrol pump globes. They're becoming rarer and rarer because they're getting smashed and broken.
Originality sells, and signs generate huge interest. Even ones with potentially limited local appeal.
Yeah, I mean, that one is a bit more niche because it's got a name on it. I just thought it was quite nice, original sign. It's going to be upwards of 150 quid, something like that.
We'll see when the hammer falls. Up in the top showroom in Thornton-le-Dale, Cynthia, the S3 Bentley from the early 60s, is waiting patiently for Derek to find her a new home.
Majestic and timeless, absolutely timeless. I think it's one of the nicest colours. I think that is just perfect.
Her current owner has requested that she stays with partner Harry, the dashing 1965 Continental.
The old car's very attractive, very attractive, very, I don't know, stylish looking car. I think that's probably the best word for it. They've got a presence.
For Derek to help find one person to buy both cars for what will be nearly 100 grand, he needs to know what they're like. So he's taking Harry for a 10-minute spin.
Few scuffs on the leatherwork. Nice car other than that. Engine sounds sweet. Gearbox is quite nice. It's just a royal old car.
it sort of makes you feel like not going anywhere that's a little bit rough.
With that in mind, Derek's calling off at the nearby and very respectable village of Kirby Moorside to see Stuart Thompson, who also has some rare vehicles that need selling.
Aye, good to see you. Yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah, no
Looking
problem.
forward to having a look.
Okay.
Going for a
Walk this way.
Yeah, no problem.
Inside, a 1936 BSA three-wheeler with a 1000cc V-twin engine.
You need to be in the zone to be able to drive it briskly.
But also a 1928 AJS Special framed motorbike owned by Stuart's brother-in-law.
Oh, this is a contraption and a half.
That,
isn't it?
yeah, 28 frame, 29 engine, or 29 engine, 28 frame.
Is it?
Yeah. And raced in the late 40s and 50s. It regularly won for the fastest 350 hand change.
Unusual set of forks, isn't she?
Well, we know it's not the original forks because the chap who built it had a nasty accident.
Right.
And the forks broke, so he put chains on, so if it ever happened again, it wasn't going to cause him any problems.
Yeah, not a bad idea, was it,
But,
really?
I mean, we can see it being used for parts. Use the engine, use the frame. Are they going to buy it to hill climb? It's interesting, and it doesn't half go.
Yeah.
But it's not like a works racer.
No, but if you're going to hill climb something, it might as well be that, mightn't it?
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know. I've just got this like 3,500 quid thing in mind.
Right.
Anyway, there you are. That's my opinion, but I think it's all guesswork, that one.
Now, this has been in the family since '64. Mechanical restoration, 99, something like that.
Yeah,
but it's
exactly.
more interesting with the V-twin. They did a straightforward, didn't they?
They did. There you go. Yeah.
Still on the 6-volt electric, so it's not been messed around with.
Yeah. You don't see too many come on the market, do you? I think it's a right nice motor, you know. Looking at like mudguards and the side bits, you know, the body. If it were to make 12, would you be happy?
I would. I would.
Back at Pickering, everyone's gearing up for another closed auction. The online bidding tech is up and running, and a strict schedule has been devised to try and keep Derek in check.
2 minutes per car. When a customer wants to put a bid on, we'll give them an approximate time when we think we'll be calling them.
So Joe's got a list of timings for the lot numbers. Is that going to work?
I don't think that approximation's going to stand.
Why?
Well, that's the silliest question you've ever asked. Why?
The biggest auction you've had?
Biggest ever auction that we've had. And I hope the next one isn't bigger, because I may not be alive.
Is that because of the curry?
Yeah, nothing to do with the auction, just that might actually end me.
Today, the Simpson Showman's living van is on the list to be sold, and the good news is...
Hello.
It's almost road ready.
Oh God, it is a bit.
Come in, Hannah. Welcome to our new office party bus.
Oh my God.
A little bit feisty, but look, you can put your cup of tea on here.
Got a fireplace. We'll get the fire lit.
Fireplace.
What's the bedroom like? I don't know. Oh, it'd be cosy.
You'd have to sleep with your head at that end.
Yeah, it's all right, isn't it? Then how's the bathroom?
Oof.
I don't think it'd be that comfortable. Proper toilet though, at least it's not like a porta potty.
True.
Oh, we've got a hole.
Oh, that's a big hole.
It is a big hole.
That looks like it's a tumble dry vent.
An oven or, yeah, it's like a vent for something,
That's
isn't it?
the point. You've got a kitchen and no oven.
As long as there's gin.
Doesn't matter what
Fine.
you live
I
in.
don't
think there's a gym.
Not gym. Gin.
We don't want a gym.
Sorry.
What?
177, 1959, Simpson show van. Here we are. Sits over there, fantastic piece of kit. Lovely, lovely paint job. Super paint job. Better paint job than half the cars we get in. If we've got anyone in at 5,000, £5,000 there, 5,000. £5,000 we've got 5,000. 5,000, it's not going to be enough, unfortunately, at 5,000. We'll try, though. Speak to the office afterwards, 5,250. He nearly missed it at 5,250. We'll make a phone call for you and we'll get an answer as soon as we can.
Unfortunately, the answer was no. But step forward. The new owner.
The guy went up his offer, so
It's ours.
When you say ours,
Paul's buying me it. I just thought it was good value.
So far, Paul and Ange have no idea how they'll use the 32-foot caravan or where it will eventually go. Apart from that, the plan's good.
Right, yeah. So it's going into winter storage and fingers crossed we'll find somewhere to site it.
Yes.
For the spring. I just like it. It'll be good fun, won't it?
The three-wheeled BSA and the hill-climbing AJS motorbike have arrived at the garage. This morning, volunteer car washer Jeffrey Bubbles will be assisting Derek.
Well, it ain't got much of a lock. There's some imperfections about it, Jeff, aren't there? You all right, fellas? Well, it's numb, isn't it? Oh. Heavier than what you think, isn't it? Are you pulling the other way, Jeff?
What's that say on there?
The BSA's engine will need looking at before it's turned over.
That's choke.
But at the very least,
Closed choke.
Derek would like to know where the starter button is.
What's that there? Does that say ignition?
That's true.
Yeah. Must be throttle. Well, that's going to be main beam dip, isn't it? That's indicator, headlamp flash. You got lights, dip. Is that choke? Am I doing choke there?
It's choke. That's the choke.
Yeah.
The other one must be the throttle.
Well, it's advance and retard, this one.
The throttle's
Throttle we got traditional down there. What all I'm looking for is a starter button.
But then, a breakthrough.
Oh, hang on. That's it there, down the bottom there. That's starter. Front wheel drive. Very, very attractive little car. And I think the V screen is lovely. I think it makes it. I think it looks much, much better than a flat screen. I think the more I thought about it, I think I'd either run it exactly as it is, not do a thing to it, or paint it. I don't think there's any halfway house. But lovely potential. I think the car's great. I love it to bits. It's just one of them smiley cars. I guarantee you, when this car is on the road, either in that condition or mint, when you drive down the road, people will smile. You can't help but smile at this little car. Now, this is a lovely little thing. Quite taken with this. If I'd got enough time, I'd have put a bid in for this. I like this. Good clean up, whip the tank off, clean it out, get some fresh fuel for it, away you go. Start me on it. We're going to be 8,000 pound, 8,000 and away. 8,000 pound, 250, 5, 8,500, 8,500, 8,500, 750, 9,000, 9,000, 9,250. Gentleman's had it for years. The number plate goes with it. Car 390. I'll talk with the family. I'm sure we'll be okay. I'll do my very best for you. 9,250. Provisional 9,250.
The highest bidder was Kevin Cook from Dorset. At some point after it was delivered, he also found the starter button and got it running. He's done a bit of cleaning and fettling, but nothing too drastic. In other news, Sarah's carefully selected memorabilia went down well. The barrel organ sold for £1,450. The Shell petrol globe also found a new home.
Sold 480.
Along with the man cave ready Bowser pump.
1,050.
Lucy had a ride round on lot 206.
Has it got a flat tyre?
I think it has got a flat tyre.
Is that because I'm sat on it?
Yeah.
Before realising that the much abused chopper is now a valuable artefact.
Sold 1,400.
Could have a holiday to Barbados for that.
And last but probably not least, the local humble enamel sign.
£140.
Now in the safe hands of biomass businessman Ashley Joy.
T&M were a company that used to build barns. They were based in Wetherby. which is only a few miles down the road. Just finished building this barn, and I thought it would be quite a nice finishing touch.
So just nice to preserve a little bit of history, really.
Yeah. It's the first new barn that it's been on in about 40 years.
Oh, and by the way, also from the auction, he now has a Jag. The 1928 AJS Special also caused a stir at the garage. This was a bike built for one purpose only.
In the 20s and 30s, it weren't so much cars racing against each other, it was reliability and racing against the clock. So hill climbs were tremendously popular. Hundreds of people there were there. There were old-fashioned rain macs on and things, flasher macs and things as we call them. It was cheap and cheerful motorsport for the masses, wasn't it?
Like many of its type, it's a cobbled-together machine. It's
based on an AJS, fitted apparently with a 1928, I believe, 350 engine. An aftermarket tank, as you can see, been made up, which is all you need. There's no point in carrying a big tank on the thing when you're only going to do a short run and what have you. So you've got oil one side, fuel the other, and I think it's designed to run on methanol, or it's been modified to run on methanol. Raced regularly at Royston, Nats Valley and Post Hill until 1966. Considerable success in the vintage class. So it really is a cracking machine. This would have been extremely quick, this bike, really quick. This would have frightened you, how quick this bike goes. The bit I like about it, the crankcase forms part of the frame. There it is, bolted in, filling in that gap in the frame. Clever little things. You know, the more you look round it, the more you can see all these little mods that he's done, all these little racing mods. And he wouldn't have done those racing mods for fun. It don't look anything, but there's something about the bike. Interesting bike, got some interesting history. In fact, it's got some fantastic history. Start me where?
17.
1700, 17 we're away, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, £2,000, £2,000, £2,000, 2,250, 2,250, 2,250, 2,5, 2005, 2,6, 2006. This will prove a very interesting machine. The more you research, the more you'll find out this machine. 2,7, 2007, upstairs, 2,7, 2,7, 2,8,
2,9,
2008,
2,9,
2,9, 3,000, £3,000, 3,000, on sale the machine.
3,1,
3,1, 3,2, 3,4, 3,4, David's bid, 3,4, 3,5, 3,500 and selling David's bid. Selling 3,5, thank you for your bidding gentlemen, 3,5.
The AJS goes to collector Simon Brice. A few days later, he's sitting, waiting patiently for his newest toy to arrive.
Oh, I started collecting bikes when I was aged about 16, and I've been buying bikes ever since, so my collection now runs at 21 bikes. I've collected so many bikes I actually couldn't physically get in here to work on them, so I got the builder to come and put a 32-foot extension on the side of it.
After a random search on the Mathewsons website, Simon was in love.
Once I'd read a little bit of the history, I thought I have to have it. The bike is totally unique. There is not another one in the world like it.
Stuart's father-in-law's dad bought it in 1964, and his father-in-law took it on in 68.
I'm hoping you brought me this.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's the one.
It's dropped off by bike courier Lee Costello.
What's the plan for the bike then, Simon?
To use it again, as it was meant to be, raced.
You're going to race it, are you?
Yeah. Hill climb and sprint it.
Here she comes.
Wow.
Look at that.
What a beauty. I was a member of the North Lancs Motor Club. In fact, I was actually the chairman. I used to race in hill climbs at Barben, which is fairly close to us here. I will be continuing its history. I'm not the fastest person in the world. It will probably never finish first with me on it, but it will compete, and my God, it will feel so good.
Now then, against this wall, Simon, yeah?
That's perfect. Absolutely superb, Lee, thank you.
You're very welcome.
It's absolutely amazing. It's got some really interesting modifications. The carburettor's been extended away from the cylinder head to get the perfect length for the fuel to go in. So it's got a racing gearbox. It's a racing gearbox. Wow.
The renovation will start tomorrow and take about a year. But for now, Simon's lined up a special evening. Just the two of them.
I'm going to put it in the garage, I'm going to make myself a gin and tonic, and I'm just going to sit and look at it for an hour. That's it, that's tonight sorted. Unbelievable.
And finally, Cynthia and Harry, the two Bentleys from the 1960s. Owners, Ray and Jane, wanted them to stay together. But that meant one person spending nearly 100 grand for the pair on auction day.
Oh, it would have been almost impossible, really. In fact, it would have been probably not even any point in trying it.
But Derek's nothing if not determined.
So I'm coming up. If you want, I'll call in and we'll put a rest together. One is, two heads are better than one. One's a sheep's head, isn't it?
It took a few days of phone calls and research.
Yeah, you give it a bit of thought. I'm Derek. If you want to do anything, you ring me.
But eventually, a local collector came to the rescue. Someone with the sort of style and sophistication needed to own such elegant vehicles.
I thought maybe we ought to do something about these cars. So I thought, right, we'll talk with the vendor and see if he's interested in doing a deal on the two at his reserve. No, not, in fact, a bit above his reserve, in actual fact, and see if he's happy at doing that, keeping them together. I mean, they're a lot of money, and they take up a lot of room, but I thought, well, if I sell 5 or 6 of mine, they would fund that purchase. I'd rather look after a smaller selection properly, or reasonably well, rather than neglect a big bunch of them,
But the Bentley is to use.
Bentley's to use. I use it a lot, an awful lot. Yeah, I really do. I like it very much. It drives very, very nice. It's a stylish car, lovely car, and I like a bit of luxury, really. That's about what it boils down to. And I think when you get older, you do start to appreciate a bit more like that.